इस तस्वीर के अंदर कुछ छुपा बैठा हुआ है. Is Shakespeare sitting there doing something a little sus? Well, this is an image that sort of popped up in my feed lately, and it's kind of cute to see. This actually comes straight from David Buchanan, who said, assuming all this works out, this image contains all of Shakespeare's works, okay? So if you don't know Shakespeare, all right, well, I want you to let me know in the comment section below what rock you live under, because my God, it's prime real estate. But ladies and gentlemen, this is an image of good old Shakespeare, and as you can see, the image is yay small, okay? I'm blowing it up right now, so you can probably assume that it's like a Minecraft painting model, but the actual image size is very tiny. So for an image this tiny, what's kind of sus is the fact that it's 1.9 megabytes. Now that's pretty big for an actual image of this tiny caliber, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you something real cool, okay? You can actually hide things within images, and provided sites like Twitter, Steam, Facebook do not change what is their thumbnailer tool, which is effectively what is used to compress these thumbnails down when they're a certain size. Even if a site tells you upload up to 5 megabytes, because Twitter, for instance, is a mega service, there's going to be situations where it'll just compress down every image as much as it can to save itself gigabytes upon gigabytes, potentially terabytes of space. Now, with a file size like that, Shakespeare must be doing something a little wild to hide whatever is underneath. So we're going to unzip this guy. Purely computer speak, of course. We're not doing anything dirty on this channel yet. We're going to do unzip-L, and we're going to type in the string of characters, whatever, or hit tab just to autocomplete. And we're going to hit enter in the terminal, and boy, oh boy, is Shakespeare hiding the entire literal fucking works of his kind. Now, of course, you can see that he has Shakespeare all the way from part 1 to part 31. So, without further ado, we're actually going to unzip this guy for real. So, just do that, and bam! Look at this entire image right here. Christ, we have all of Shakespeare's works. Now, let's say I grab part 3, which is a multi-part RAR archive, and I grab shakespeare.html. We're going to get this big 6.7 megabyte file. So opening that file up takes you to, my God, all of it. And I remember the last thing I read was The Tempest from Shakespeare. So yeah, it is actually all of Shakespeare's entire life work, all hidden within an image that can freely be downloaded. Now, why did I show you Shakespeare's life works? Not just because it was a cool little computer thing, but because we're going to learn about something called steganography, which is a fancy word of saying we're going to hide something in very much plain sight. I want you to remember back when I showed you all how to hide faces and pictures and messages in actual image files inside their, spectral wavelength. Things like a lot of ARGs do this, right? Where basically what they do is that they release a creepy video with very, very creepy audio that sounds like a bunch of beeps and boops and Morse code. But in reality, that audio is indicative of a secret message hidden within. I'm going to show you something a bit more not on the nose this time. So here I've got an image of Walter White, okay? If you don't know who he is, this is the character from the show Breaking Bad, one of the best shows that I've ever seen personally. Here he is shocked. I'm not going to spoil why he's shocked. I think you should watch the show, but I'm going to hide something within Walter's face. We're going to change the entire reason why he's shocked. Now, I'm going to stick a ROM for a game inside Walter White that's basically going to carry a game with me. So, by basically showing you what I'm doing here, we're going to go back to the terminal, all right? We're going to go to cat, all right, and we're going to go to Walt. In this case, it's Walt loses virginity. And we're going to use one arrow to the right. I mean, you've already seen what I'm going with. And we're going to create new picture.jpg. This creates two Walter Whites, okay? What's the difference? Well, let's make the difference. If we do cat, and then we do, let's just stick a file in. I'm gonna keep this away from the audience, just so it has a bit of a surprise. Now that I've done all of that, all right, you can see that I have two images, all right? Now, what's the key difference? Well, Walter White over here is a slim 29.8 kilobytes. Walter White over here decided to eat a fucking mountain and grew up to 880.6 kilobytes in size. So you might be wondering, what are the difference between these two images? Clearly, I open up Walter White over here, and look at him, he's as shocked as ever. You can zoom in and see all the pixels. It's a cute mouth. Now, what is actually happening over here is I have embedded a zip file within Walter White, okay, in this new picture. So basically, in order to show you what's going on, if I go around and I do unzip, and then I do new pic.jpg, it'll actually unpackage metalgearsolid.gameboycolor. And if you want to see just how this runs, all right, I'm going to fire up RetroArch real quick. Yeah, right here, you can see that it is licensed, it is a Nintendo ROM, it is actually quite literally Metal Gear Solid on the Game Boy Color. No jokes, no memes aside, you actually have a game hidden within an image. So it's kind of cool to see, you know, it's an interesting little computer thing. It's not too technical, it's literally a command line prompt that'll get you this result. Now, you can take this image and provided a compression tool on something like Steam, for instance, won't act too much on a file this small, you could potentially hide a Game Boy ROM within a picture file that you are using as a profile picture on a service like Steam. I know that I've mentioned Steam a whole heck of a lot in the last 5 seconds, and that's because Steam is the central focus point of one of this video. So, in this case, a security researcher by the name of Milton Hawk actually found out that there was malware that is currently being hosted on Steam profile images right now during their massive summer sale, all right? Or I think it's ended at this point. Actually, wait, let me fire up Steam to see if it's ended. They currently do not have an active sale, okay? I was being lied to. But basically, the point is, these images were actually storing, all right, effectively download links to other sort of hacker-friendly websites. They were basically spreading binary images, binary files through these profile links, right? Now, at the end of the day, all right, this was one of the images, okay? A classic meme, all right? Good old internet historian telling us about minor bugs and server crashes. God bless. But let's go to an even more damning situation, right? Now, going even further, you can see that looking into what these profile images are doing over here, one in question was this image, right? I don't know who this person is, but I know the meme. Basically, this is an exact image that was being used to spread nefarious binary images, I guess. Basically, the individual was looking at January. Close your eyes. In good old September. Now here's the full data from the EXIF data that was harvested from that malicious image, where they started looking at bad length ICC profile. The reason why that's important is ICC profiles map colors to like printers and various other objects. If it's bad, that's a sign that it's been corrupted and there might be something different hidden inside an image than what makes up the image of itself. So again, going down further, one of the other images that they ended up finding was this like weird sniper paintball airsoft milsim guy. Now, of course, these images, once you ripped out what effectively was actually inside them, it turned out to be actual malware that was checking for administrator rights, that was nesting itself within your local app data directory, that was constantly checking if auto start permissions running. Actually, it even actually checked for VirtualBox and VMware, which, again, holds no candle if you have an air gap system anyway, so good attempt. But looking into these images, you can see that right now, these malwares that were being run were prepping for something much bigger down the road. At least now, the entire scheme has been caught before anyone was to really get affected with anything super nasty. Now, given the fact that I've seen this in the news right now, Steam summer sale under attack from new malware threat, whatever you do, don't click this. If you read express.co.uk, I'm not saying that you're a dipshit, but you're definitely giving symptomologies of a dipshit. Now, if you go to threat post real quick, which is where they're linking to, emerging malware is lurking in Steam profile images. Oh, look for Steam hide, an emerging malware that disguises itself inside profile images on the gaming platform Steam. And I'm not here to defend Steam. Steam is actually goddamn trash. Not too long ago, they actually had legit RCE remote code exploits hidden still. I don't even think they've effectively removed them from the source engine, where people could send you invitations to CSGO games and potentially run some really nasty stuff. So Steam, Valve in this case, is pretty fucking stupid when it comes to user cybersecurity. And I guess maybe they don't have an incentive to fix it because they're the biggest in the game. Who gives a shit? I don't agree with it, but hey, I'm just a fat Indian guy on the internet. Now, of course, this is one thing where I have to defend Valve from, because the images that you're seeing right now aren't necessarily going to destroy your computer, right? if you don't run the malware hidden within them. Jesus Christ. The actual malware hidden within these files, right, finalmalware.exe, trips off so many flags. And again, VirusTotal has a bunch of, I would say, false positives, which, if you don't know an antivirus term, basically they get called up as viruses because they have the symptomology of a virus, but they're not actually viruses. So in this case, no, this is quite honestly a straight up virus, okay? Final malware.exe was in fact a actual malware. Now, to run this malware, a user would have to grab the profile picture that actually had the virus hidden within it onto their computer, unpack it like I showed you with Walter White, and run the malware themselves. Okay, that's the only real way that I can logically see people getting infected. Of course, if they exploit something else that I have no idea about underneath Valve or Steam's framework, then sure, it can get way worse. But I saw this trip up a couple days ago, and it really wanted me to help you understand the reality of the situation, not to be basically fearmongered by the internet that, oh God, am I going to open up a profile picture on Steam and get my bank account stolen? No, you probably won't, okay? It doesn't work that way unless you go out of your way to command line unzip it and start fucking around, then sure, okay? But at that point, you have fucked yourself, okay? And there's no one to blame but yourself. I just wanted to make this video to sort of demystify and also to teach you about steganography, okay? Just a bit more. It's a very simple thing that you can do, and some services, provided the file size is small enough, don't even bother to get rid of it. Again, I highly recommend you do not do it on any web service like YouTube or Twitter or Facebook. I believe it's not expressly written in any major TOS, but if you're doing shenanigans with a profile picture, I don't think any of these services is going to take that too kindly onto the user. So just pointing that one out there. That being said, this is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.